In the year 2347, humanity received a message that changed everything. The Galactic Council was calling, but this invitation was not an honor. It was an insult. Every species in the galaxy was watching. They wanted to see the new species. They wanted to see humans, but not to welcome them. They wanted to laugh. The human ship arrived at the massive council station. The station was bigger than Earth's moon. Inside the grand hall stood representatives from 47 alien species. Some had scales. Some had fur. Some were made of pure energy. All of them were powerful. All of them were advanced. The human diplomats walked into the hall. Their leader was Sarah Chun. She was young but brave. The moment humans entered the room, everything went silent. Then the laughter started. It was loud. It was cruel. A massive reptile alien stepped forward. His name was Ambassador Zorvith. His species ruled 12 planets. He looked at Sarah and smiled with sharp teeth. He spoke in a voice that echoed through the hall. Humans are soft. Humans are weak. Humans are pink and fragile. Your bones break easily. Your skin burns in sunlight. You cannot even breathe in most atmospheres. The other aliens laughed harder. Sarah stood still. Her hands were shaking, but she did not speak. The council leader raised his hand. The laughter stopped. He looked at the humans with cold eyes. He announced a decision. Humanity is rank class 5, the lowest rank. You will do the jobs no other species wants. Mining, cleaning, waste disposal, dangerous work, deadly work. If you survive, you may earn a better rank. If you die, nobody will care. The aliens began placing bets. How long will humans last? 1 month, 1 week, maybe 1 day. Sarah Chin finally spoke. Her voice was calm but strong. She said, "We accept." The council leader seemed surprised. He smiled. "Good. You may begin your service. If you survive." The human diplomats left the hall in silence. That night, Sarah stood alone looking at Earth through the station window. Tears filled her eyes, but she did not cry. She whispered to herself, "They think we are weak. Let them think that. Let them laugh. They do not know what humans are made of. They do not know where we come from. They do not know what we survived just to reach the stars." The council made a mistake today. They underestimated humanity. And that mistake will cost them everything. Back on Earth, the news spread fast. Humanity was ranked the lowest. People were angry. People were hurt. But deep inside, something else was growing. Something dangerous. Something the galaxy had never seen before. Humans were ready to prove everyone wrong. The aliens thought humans were weak. They were right about one thing. Humans were not the strongest, not the fastest, not the smartest, but they had something no other species possessed. Something that was hiding in plain sight. Something that would change everything. The galaxy was about to discover what happens when you push humans too far. 3 months passed since the council meeting. Humans were now working across the galaxy. The jobs were terrible, dangerous, deadly. Captain Marcus Rodriguez led a human mining crew on planet Kragos. The planet was a nightmare. The temperature was 120 degrees. The air was toxic. The ground was filled with sharp rocks. Alien overseers treated humans like slaves. They gave humans the oldest equipment, the most dangerous tunnels, the impossible quotas. Marcus and his team worked 16 hours every day. Their bodies were exhausted. Their hands were bleeding. But they never complained. They never stopped. The alien overseer was named Grath. He was from the Theran species. His kind was strong. His muscles were like steel. He loved watching humans struggle. One day, Grath increased the work quota. He wanted to break the humans. He wanted them to quit. Marcus looked at his team. Their faces were tired but determined. He said, "We can do this. Trust me." They went back into the mines. Deep underground, the tunnels were dark and hot. Suddenly, alarms started blaring. Red lights flashed everywhere. A tunnel section collapsed. Toxic gas began filling the air. All alien workers ran to the surface immediately. They abandoned everything. Tools, equipment, vehicles. Grath was screaming at his crew to evacuate faster. Within 2 minutes, every alien was outside breathing fresh air. They watched the mine entrance. Black smoke poured out. Grath counted his workers. All Therans were safe. Then he remembered. The humans were still inside. He expected to see their bodies soon. But then something impossible happened. Shadows appeared in the smoke. Figures walking out slowly. It was Marcus and his entire human team. They were carrying the mining equipment, the expensive drills, the power generators, everything the aliens left behind. Their clothes were burned. Their faces were covered in ash. But they were alive. They were walking. They were working. The Galactic Council decided to test humanity. They created a challenge so deadly that only 12 species ever completed it. The challenge was called the Trial of Demons. It was designed to break the strongest warriors in the galaxy. The Council was certain humans would fail. They were absolutely certain. But certainty means nothing when you are dealing with humans. The galaxy was about to learn that lesson the hard way. The Council announced the trial across all planets. Any species could send their best warriors. The location was Infernus Prime, a hell planet at the edge of the galaxy. The rules were simple. Survive 30 days. No technology allowed. No advanced weapons. No rescue. The temperature on Infernus Prime was 140 degrees during the day. At night it dropped to minus 80 degrees. Acid rain fell every evening. Predator animals hunted in packs. Sharp rocks covered the ground. There was no shelter. No food provided. No water sources. Only the strongest survived. Within hours, 23 species accepted the challenge. The Krell sent their best general. The Zorvith sent their champion fighter. The Mamnor sent a warrior who never lost a battle. Every species sent genetically enhanced super soldiers. Then humanity announced their choice. The galaxy expected Earth's strongest soldier, an enhanced human, a modified warrior. Instead, humans sent Sergeant Maria Lopez. She was a regular Marine. No genetic modifications. No special powers. Just a normal human soldier. The aliens laughed again. They said humans are sending someone to die. The trial began on day 1. All warriors were dropped on different parts of Infernus Prime. Cameras followed everyone. Billions across the galaxy watched live. The alien champions immediately started building shelters using advanced survival techniques. They had trained for years. Their bodies were designed for extreme conditions. Sergeant Lopez did something simple. She found a rocky hill. She dug a trench with her bare hands. She covered it with branches and leaves. Alien viewers laughed at the simple shelter. By day 7, the planet was winning. 3 alien champions quit from heat exhaustion. 5 more were injured by predator attacks. The Krell general was struggling badly. His advanced training meant nothing against nature. By day 15, only 5 warriors remained. 2 aliens and 3 humans. Yes, humans sent 3 people total, and all 3 were still alive. The alien viewers stopped laughing. By day 20, only humans remained. Lopez and her 2 team members were tired but moving. They hunted for food. They collected rainwater. They took turns sleeping. They never stopped adapting. On day 30, the extraction ships arrived. The galaxy watched in complete silence. Sergeant Lopez walked out of the jungle. Not crawling, not limping, walking straight and strong. Her 2 team members followed behind her. All 3 were alive, healthy, ready to keep going. The council leader met them personally. His voice was shaking when he asked the question, "How did you survive when our best warriors failed?" Lopez looked directly at him. Her face was calm. She said this was easier than basic training on Earth. Our planet makes this place look comfortable. The council chamber went completely silent. Every alien felt a chill run down their spine. The council leader realized something terrifying in that moment. They had not tested humanity's limits. They had not even come close. They had barely scratched the surface of what humans could endure. The Krell Empire was the most powerful military force in the galaxy. They had conquered 40 planets. They had never lost a war, never retreated, never surrendered. But humanity's success in the trial of demons made them angry, very angry. The Krell could not accept that humans were strong. So they planned to destroy humanity's reputation forever. They challenged humans to war games. The stakes were simple. Lose and humanity become slaves. Forever. General Thaxter was the supreme commander of the Krell forces. He had won 300 battles. He had destroyed entire civilizations. He stood before the Galactic Council and issued his challenge. His voice was loud and confident. Humanity claims to be strong. Prove it. Face the Krell in battle. If you lose, your species will serve us forever. If you win, we will never question you again. The council chamber erupted in shock. This was not a game anymore. This was real. Sarah Chun was now Earth's lead ambassador. She stood up slowly. Every eye was on her. She looked at General Thaxter directly. She said, "We accept." The galaxy could not believe it. War games were scheduled for planet Arcturus 7, a neutral battle zone. The Krell arrived with 50,000 elite soldiers. Battle mechs that stood 40 feet tall. Plasma cannons. Energy shields. Starfighters. The most advanced weapons in the galaxy. Their army covered the entire northern continent. Then the human force arrived. Only 5,000 soldiers. Basic body armor. Ballistic rifles. Simple vehicles. No mechs. No energy weapons. Commander James Williams led the human forces. He was a veteran of Earth's worst wars. His face showed no fear. General Thaxter laughed when he saw the human numbers. He told his officers this would be over in hours, maybe minutes. The battle began at dawn. Krell forces moved fast using superior technology. They surrounded human positions within 30 minutes. Their weapons were overwhelming. Their tactics were perfect. Commander Williams and his forces seemed trapped, outgunned, outnumbered. General Thaxter watched from his command ship. He smiled and ordered the final attack. But then something strange happened. Humans did not surrender. They did not panic. Instead, they did something the Krell never expected. They adapted. Human soldiers started using the environment. They hid in caves, set traps in forests, used rocks and trees as cover. They studied Krell attack patterns, found weaknesses, exploited them. When Krell mechs advanced, humans targeted their joints with focused fire. When Krell aircraft flew overhead, humans used debris to create dust storms. The Krell had better technology. But humans had something else. Creativity, desperation, refusal to quit. Hours turned into days. The Krell forces were frustrated, confused, tired. Human soldiers rotated in shifts. Some fought while others rested. They never stopped. 24 hours. 48 hours. 72 hours straight of constant fighting. Krell soldiers needed sleep, needed rest. Humans kept fighting. By day 3, General Thaxter's forces were exhausted, broken, demoralized. His soldiers were retreating. His mechs were destroyed. His perfect army was defeated. Suspense ending. 4:30 to 5 o'clock. The Galactic Council called an emergency session. Every species leader attended. The chamber was filled with fear and confusion. The question was simple but terrifying. What makes humans so dangerous? Why can they survive when others fail? Why do they never give up? Why are they so different? The council ordered their best scientists to find answers. What they discovered would change everything. The truth about humanity was hidden in plain sight, and it was absolutely horrifying. Council scientists began studying everything about humans, their biology, their history, their planet, their evolution. Teams were sent to observe Earth from orbit. Data was collected for weeks. Then the reports started coming back. The first report was about Earth's atmosphere. Scientists could not believe it. Earth's air contained 21% oxygen. Most species needed only 8%. Humans breathe poison levels of oxygen every single day. The second report was about Earth's gravity. It was extremely high. Most civilized species evolved on planets with half Earth's gravity. Humans lived their entire lives being crushed by their own planet. Every step, every movement, fighting against massive gravity. The third report was about Earth's weather. Hurricanes with 200-mile-per-hour winds. Tornadoes that destroyed everything. Earthquakes that split the ground. Tsunamis taller than buildings. volcanoes that blocked out the sun. Earth was trying to kill humans constantly. The fourth report was about Earth's animals: lions, tigers, bears, sharks, crocodiles, snakes with deadly poison, spiders, scorpions, even tiny mosquitoes that spread diseases. Predators were everywhere on Earth. The fifth report was about human history. Humans fought each other for thousands of years. War after war, plague after plague, famine, drought, ice ages. Humans survived extinction-level events multiple times. Then came the final report. The lead scientist stood before the council. Her hands were shaking as she held the data. She spoke slowly. Earth is classified as a Class 12 death world. The council chamber exploded in panic. Council leader demanded silence. He asked, "What does Class 12 mean?" The scientist explained. Most species evolve on Class 1 or Class 2 planets. Safe, calm, peaceful. Class 5 planets are considered dangerous. Class 8 planets are nearly impossible to survive. Class 12 is the highest danger rating ever recorded in galactic history. Earth should not have intelligent life. It should be empty, dead. But humans did not just survive Earth. They thrived on it. They conquered it. The scientist continued. Human bodies are built for endurance. They can run for days without stopping. They heal from terrible injuries. They adapt to any environment. Hot, cold, wet, dry. Humans survive everywhere. But that is not the most dangerous part. The most dangerous part is the human mind. It never gives up. Pain does not stop humans. Fear does not stop humans. Exhaustion does not stop humans. Humans have unlimited psychological endurance. They would rather die than surrender. An old alien walked forward from the back of the chamber. He was a historian, over 300 years old. He carried an ancient book. He said, "I found something in the old archives, a law written 10,000 years ago, by a civilization that no longer exists. The law had one sentence: beware species from death worlds." The phantom swarm arrived without warning. They came from the dark regions of space. Billions of biomechanical warriors, a force that had destroyed 30 species in 30 years. They did not negotiate. They did not communicate. They only consumed. Entire planets turned to dust. Civilizations erased in days. Now they came for the galaxy. Every species prepared to surrender. Every species prepared to die. Every species except one. Humanity. The swarm hit the outer colonies first. Krell Empire fell in 3 days. Their mighty fleets destroyed. Their 40 planets consumed. General Thaxter sent one final message before his homeworld died. He said we were wrong about everything. Then silence. The Zorva civilization evacuated their planets. The Mandler species fled to deep space. The Theron workers abandoned their stations. Panic spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The Galactic Council held an emergency session. The chamber was chaos. Species leaders were screaming, fighting, blaming each other. Council leader raised his hand for silence. He spoke with a broken voice. "We have no choice. We must evacuate, abandon the galaxy, find new space. Maybe we survive. Maybe we do not. But we cannot fight the swarm. Nobody can." Then a voice cut through the chamber. Clear, strong, calm. It was Admiral Rebecca Chun, Sarah Chen's daughter. She stood at the human delegation area. Her uniform was perfect. Her face showed no fear. She said humanity will fight. The chamber went silent. Species leaders stared at her like she was insane. Council leader said you cannot be serious. The swarm is unstoppable. Your species will go extinct. Rebecca smiled. She said our species has been facing extinction since we lived in caves. This is nothing new for us. She activated a hologram. It showed Earth's solar system. Human fleets were gathering. Hundreds of ships. Thousands of fighters. Millions of soldiers. Rebecca continued. We sent a message to every human colony. Every human station. Every human ship. The message was simple. Come home. Fight for Earth. Fight for humanity. And they all came. She looked directly at the council leader. You can run if you want. But humans do not run. We make our stand here. Now, this is our answer to the swarm. The answer is no. The first battle happened at the Neptune defense line. Swarm ships numbered in the millions. Human forces were outnumbered 100 to 1. It did not matter. Humans engaged immediately. The battle was brutal, violent, bloody. Human ships were destroyed. Stations exploded. Soldiers died by the thousands. But humans kept fighting, kept pushing, kept attacking. The swarm had never faced resistance like this. They adapted. Humans adapted faster. The swarm changed tactics. Humans changed faster. Days turned to weeks. Weeks turned to months. The war moved closer to Earth. Mars fell. The moon bases were overrun. Earth itself was under siege. Billions of swarm warriors descended on the planet. But Earth was ready. Every human fought. Old, young, soldiers, civilians, everyone. They used Earth itself as a weapon. Gravity pulled swarm ships into the atmosphere. Asteroids were launched at swarm fleets. The sun's radiation was redirected. Humans fought in the streets, in the tunnels, in the oceans, in the sky. They never stopped. After 6 months of non-stop war, something impossible happened. The swarm began retreating, slowly at first, then faster. Their forces pulled back from Earth, from the solar system, from human space. For the first time in 10,000 years, the Phantom Swarm was defeated. 5 years after the swarm war, the galaxy was rebuilding. Peace had returned. Species were cooperating. Humanity was respected, feared, honored. But peace never lasts forever. Deep in unexplored space, something ancient was waking up. Something that made the Phantom Swarm look like children. The Devourers were coming, and they had been sleeping for 1,000,000 years. Waiting, watching, hungry. The first sign appeared at the edge of the galaxy. An entire star system went dark. No distress call, no warning. Just gone, vanished completely. The Galactic Council sent investigation teams. 3 ships, all equipped with the best technology, all crewed by experienced explorers. They arrived at the dead system. What they found froze their blood. The star was still there, but it was dying, dimming, being drained of energy. Every planet was lifeless, gray, empty, not destroyed, consumed. One investigator transmitted a final message. His voice was shaking. Something is here. Something massive. Something is feeding on the star itself. Then his transmission cut to static. All 3 ships disappeared. The council called an emergency meeting. Admiral Rebecca Chin attended, representing humanity. The council leader showed the recordings. His face was pale. We have a new threat. Something worse than the swarm. Much worse. An ancient alien species that feeds on stars, on planets, on energy itself. They are called the Devourers. We found records of them in old archives. They destroyed the previous galactic civilization 1,000,000 years ago. Then they went dormant. Now they are awake, and they are hungry. Rebecca asked how many are there. The council leader looked at the data. His hands trembled. We do not know. Thousands, maybe millions. They travel in massive hive ships. Each ship is the size of a moon. They do not fight. They simply consume everything. There is no defense against them. Rebecca stood up. She said, "So what is the plan?" The council leader hesitated. "The plan is evacuation. We leave this galaxy. Find a new one. Start over. It is our only chance." Rebecca stared at him in disbelief. "You want to run?" Again, the council leader said this is different. The swarm could be fought. The Devourers cannot. They are too powerful, too ancient. Even humanity cannot stop them. Rebecca slammed her hand on the table. Her voice was ice cold. "You did not learn anything, did you? We do not run. We never run." The council leader said this is suicide. Your species will die. Rebecca smiled. "That is what you said about the swarm. That is what you said about the trial of demons. That is what you said about everything. And every single time you were wrong." She activated her communicator. This is Admiral Chun. Code Omega. Recall all human fleets. Prepare for total war. We have a new enemy, and we will destroy them. Within hours, human forces began mobilizing. Every ship, every soldier, every weapon. But this time something was different. Other species started joining. The Krell sent their rebuilt fleets. The Zorvith sent their warriors. The Mamner offered their technology. Even the peaceful Theran species sent support ships. A message came from the Krell commander. It said humanity taught us something. Taught us that running solves nothing. If we die fighting, not fleeing. The galaxy was united for the first time in history. United against impossible odds. United behind humanity. The Devourer fleet was here. 50,000 hive ships that fed on stars themselves. The United Galactic Forces numbered only 10,000 ships. Outnumbered 5-1. Outgunned by ancient technology. Facing extinction. But Admiral Rebecca Chin was not afraid. She had a plan. A crazy plan. A plan so dangerous that it might destroy everything. But it was the only chance. The only hope. Humanity was about to bet everything on one final gamble. The two fleets faced each other at the Helix Nebula. Space was silent. Tense. Waiting. The Devourer ships moved forward slowly. They did not hurry. They never hurried. They had destroyed civilizations for 1,000,000 years. This would be no different. Admiral Chin opened a channel to all Allied ships. Her voice was steady. Listen carefully. The Devourers feed on energy. Stars. Planets. Power cores. Everything. So we're going to give them exactly what they want. We're going to give them so much energy that they choke on it. The plan was insane. Every ship would overload their reactors. Release maximum energy at once. Create a massive explosion. The Devourers would try to absorb it, but the energy would be too much. Too fast. Too unstable. It would destroy them from the inside. But there was a problem. A terrible problem. The ships releasing the energy would also be destroyed. This was a suicide mission. The channel went silent. Then one by one commanders responded. The Krell commander spoke first. We stand with humanity. The Zorvith captain spoke next. For the galaxy. The Mander engineer followed. For our children. Every single ship agreed. 10,000 ships ready to die. Ready to sacrifice everything. Rebecca felt tears in her eyes, but her voice stayed strong. She said, "Thank you. All of you. Humanity will remember this. The galaxy will remember this. Your names will live forever." The battle began. Devourer ships opened fire first. Their weapons were beyond understanding. Reality itself bent around their attacks. Space twisted. Time slowed. Allied ships exploded by the hundreds. But they kept advancing. Kept pushing forward. Getting closer to the Devourer fleet. Human soldiers fought on every front. Fighters engaged Devourer drones. Bombers targeted Hive ship weak points. Marines boarded damaged enemy vessels. The war was chaos. Beautiful. Terrible. Heroic. Rebecca watched the battle from her command chair. Losses were mounting. 2,000 ships gone. 3,000 ships destroyed. 5,000 ships lost. Half the fleet was dead, but they were close enough now. Close enough for the plan. She opened the final channel. This is Admiral Chun. All ships prepare for reactor overload. Set timers for simultaneous detonation. 30 seconds. Across thousands of ships' crews said their goodbyes. Humans hugged each other. Aliens made peace with their gods. Everyone knew this was the end. Rebecca looked at her own crew. These people trusted her, followed her, believed in her. She said, "I am proud to die with you, proud to call you family. The earth will sing songs about this day, about your courage." The timer hit 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2. Then something unexpected happened. A new fleet arrived, dropping out of hyperspace behind the Devourers. Thousands of ships. Ships marked with Earth symbol. The Soul Defense Fleet. Humanity's secret reserve force. Admiral Chen's father. Admiral Michael Chun. His voice crackled over comms. "Did you really think we would let you die alone?" The reinforcements hit the Devourers from behind. The surprise was total. Devastating. Perfect. Rebecca laughed through her tears. She said all ships cancel overload. New plan. We fight. We win. We go home.